Sharina Smith, present.
Right here.
Ms. Smith, come in here for a minute. Okay, so there's a motion to recall your bench warrant. That's fine. And this case has been going on since 2022, well before I was ever involved in it. I started looking through all these things.
Huh? This is the first time I'm meeting him.
Yeah, I'm only a public defender for 30 more days. I'm not a public defender, I shouldn't say that. I have a contract to the public defender's office because they couldn't keep public defenders.
So I'm going to get a new attorney.
Yeah, but you need to get this thing set for a trial.
Okay.
I mean,
so I'm trying to figure out what's been going on.
They're not going to dismiss. Well, apparently there was a court date.
Can I ask you a real quick question?
Sure.
What is 30 for arrest?
It's $30 fee for a bench warrant being issued. I guess it's a fee through the sheriff's office or whoever arrests you for to have to pay.
Okay.
So
is there any way I can get this moved to Jefferson County Court?
Nope.
I can't get a new judge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can you explain to me briefly, if you can, exactly what we're here for and what's going on?
She's charged with menacing, which is a Class B misdemeanor up to 90 days in jail.
Okay.
According to whoever Cron is, which I believe is Nick Cron, I think is his first name, but he's through the Elizabethtown Police Department. He responded to 1302 Farmingdale Drive in Elizabethtown through a citizen dispute.
Okay.
He made contact with a Landon Goff that advised he was a contractor working in the area when the above came out of 1313 Farmingdale Drive with a knife. Goff stated that above had lunged with him with a knife.
You gotta call in on a different client.
Okay. Goff advised that the above kept advancing towards him, yielding the knife. Goff stated he told the above to stop coming towards him. Goff advised that the above later stopped and ran back in her residence. So the allegation is that she went to him with a knife, and they charged her with menacing, which is much. Could have been charged a lot higher if that's what happened. And so there's been, from what I see in this file, discovery and apparently.
And so where's the motion discovery? I'm sorry.
Well, it's in here. This is a court's file of it.
Okay.
But that's where it is. But I mean,
the
discovery is going to be straightforward. It's going to be a swearing contest between this guy and you.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I know how public defenders have operated. I understand what they do. They will do a motion to discovery whenever there's an offer that you don't like or you're not going to accept. The way to get the case moving is to set it for a discovery and then set for another pretrial conference. I am going to tell you that I don't know how that's. I mean, unless there is a video on somebody's house that somehow was in here, there's not going to be anything that's going to demonstrate what happened other than what you say and what this Goff said. So there's not really a whole lot of discovery that would be going on. This file is extremely thick for a misdemeanor Class B menacing charge. And that's where we are. So I don't know.
So we're setting trial?
I'm under the impression that there's been an offer extended to you of some kind.
I came into the file and I got seen there was a plea for I don't even know what this is.
It has a dismissal on condition of no contact.
For the first failure to appear 1-9, and I don't know what contact.
Well, on the case, that would mean 22. No contact means you'd have no contact with this.
Right.
That guy.
Okay.
The case would be dismissed, and you'd have to do an anger management and life skills class through CAMS.
Okay, don't know nothing about this. Okay, I'm first time hearing this.
Yeah, and then you'd have to pay court costs.
Okay, this is the first
time. The thing would be
this.
done and over with if you did that.
Okay.
The anger management class is a few. I think it depends on the assessment, but it's classes you do. The life skills is a one-time online class through CAMS.
Okay.
You wouldn't have to come back to court anymore. The case would be dismissed on those conditions.
Okay.
If you didn't take the class, or for some reason you had contact with him, then they could come back and hold you in contempt of court.
Okay.
But assuming you did all that, you wouldn't have to fool with it anymore. I don't think their offer is going to get better than this, and I'm not in the.
So that's the offer.
Yeah,
Okay.
according to that.
Okay.
And I don't know. I don't see it in here just because you've got a file that's kind of unique. But I know the handwriting on that, and that is Don Jones, who is the prosecutor here today. So he's the one that I can show that to and say.
Is there any way to get the footage of what happened on the days for these failures to appear?
What do you mean?
I don't think that's relevant, man.
Could I get, there's videos, yeah, here it is, right here, no contact, yeah, the offer deal on January 23rd,
Yeah.
January 9th, 2023.
Because I had a different attorney then through the public defender is why I'm asking.
Yeah.
It wasn't him.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
I get that.
Yeah, what he's saying is, regardless of everything up to this point,
Okay.
it's either that
Or trial.
or a trial.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, the trial wouldn't be necessary, it'd be done and over with.
Yeah, you'd be done with.
I'll have to be pleading guilty to
No,
this.
it'd be dismissed.
Oh.
You wouldn't have to plead to nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
The only thing
okay.
you'd have to do is an anger management class and not have contact with this guy and life skills.
No. No. We're going to discuss this. No. I didn't do nothing wrong. I don't live at 1303 and it could be against our words. Why do I have to do any of that? I'm not guilty of anything. And no. Stay away from me. You need to stay away from me. I'm not going to have that published like that.
So what it comes down to, my understanding is a trial, and he's saying what he's saying, and you're saying what you're saying, but
And then a jury would have to basically decide who they believe or don't believe.
So I'll do
And
90
then
days
if
in
they
jail,
find
pay a
you guilty-
$250 fine.
and
yeah,
if
but
they
if you
find
go to
you,
jail, then you get conviction.
Dad, I'm already been to jail. I'm
No,
not.
no, you misunderstand what I'm saying. One jail is one thing, two jails is another thing. I'm saying, why go to jail when you don't have to?
Because then I'll be sitting here agreeing to terms that should be the other way around. I'm not agreeing to that. I would rather do the jail time or a $250 fine.
And get it on your record.
I've already got a criminal record now. It's not going nowhere.
No, I'm not
It's dismissed. It's still going to be there. Who's getting expunged for $600? It's still going to be there.
It won't be nothing there because it won't.
Daddy, the file's not going nowhere. It's still going to be a public file somebody could come get.
Okay. And even if you go to jail, it's still gonna be there.
Exactly. So take it to trial. Versus sitting here saying I'm not going to do this to somebody who came at me for defending myself.
and I'll be quite frank with you, that is your right to do, and I applaud people that don't want to plead guilty for stuff that they didn't do.
So do
But you're not pleading guilty. You're not pleading guilty to anything. I don't know what happens at a jury trial. Let me kind of tell you the reality of this. I will set it for a jury trial in October.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have 2 court dates. You'll have a final pretrial conference date, and you'll have and then a trial date if yours goes. Because how this works is that there's probably 5 to 10 cases set on a jury trial day. They can't try 5 to 10 cases on the same time with one jury, so they have to pick which one's going to go. The order of how they go is if you're in custody, gets first priority, DUI gets second priority, and then everything else goes based on the oldest cases. Your case is pretty old, so if everything else settled, your case would be the one that did go, but there'd be 2 more court appearances.
Okay.
If yours is not the one that goes, they set it for another different date, and you have to come for, that pretrial conference date and so forth.
If I've been here a year already, I'm going to
Yeah, I mean, it kind of continues out and continues on and goes. But if you didn't do anything wrong, then that's what the jury process is here. Okay, I'm not going to be your attorney.
Okay.
My contract will be up by the time your trial goes.
Okay.
So it'll be somebody else.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, from what my review of this file and knowing how these things are, I don't think they're just going to outright just dismiss the case.
Okay.
I can go to them and say, look, if you'll dismiss the case, and make her just do his life skills online class and drop the anger management, she would do that. If you want me to negotiate, I can try to do that.
No, because it needs to go the other way around. He needs anger management for me coming at me for trying to defend myself.
And for whatever reason, they didn't charge him with a crime.
So there needs to be reverse. I'm not doing that.
Well,
You're not going to come in my backyard.
I can tell you, no matter what happens, that's never going to be the outcome of this. Because they haven't charged him with a crime.
Something has to be brought to where if it ain't apparent yet that there's he's doing anything criminal, then it wouldn't be.
Well,
and I could press civil charges then.
Potentially, but
yeah.
Again, it's the same pause. It's the same thing. It's always going to be a swearing contest between you and him. You could go to trial on your case and the jury could find you not guilty. And then you could go to jury trial if he was charged on his case and he could be found not guilty. And the question would be, well, how could that be? Somebody had to do it.
Right.
Because if you're saying one thing, he's saying the other, I don't know how that's ever beyond a reasonable doubt for 6 people. They either got to believe, because there's nothing else that goes with it.
Yeah, they have to believe one or the other.
You say this or you say that, but for all 6 people to believe one person beyond a reasonable doubt that nobody else was there is hard to do. It's just hard to do because you're talking, okay, she came with me in a knife, and you're going to say, I didn't come with him in a knife. He came with me or whatever the version of it is. Knowing that 6 people that's going to hear it's in the jury box was there. Only 2 people know what really happened. That's you and him.
So you're saying possibly because of the reasonable doubt?
Yeah, beyond a reasonable doubt, that's a hard thing to prove.
It could be possible to be in her favor.
Yeah, jury finds you not guilty. In fact, quite frankly, again, I find it hard to prove cases based on
he said,
she said, beyond a reasonable doubt on just about everything.
You have to have something to dismiss.
Now, every now and again, you get cases about swearing contests. It's, like a little girl, for instance, I had a trial with, and I know she was sexually assaulted by this guy. I know he did it. She said he did it. He said he didn't. Now, well, how could you convict it? Well, for one, the girl was. Why would she get in there and say what she said? But more importantly, apparently there were videos all throughout the house except for this one little area, which is where he always did it. And I think a jury hung their hat on it. Well, there's not a camera there for a reason. And he just kind of gave it off the vibes. It went on. So, I'm not saying it can't happen.
Yeah.
But it's very hard on an assault type case when one person's saying X, Y, this happened. The other one saying, no, this happened. For a jury to find beyond a reasonable doubt. But I don't want your case it's got to have a light at the end of the tunnel.
Right.
Because just pushing these things out,
not making
it just continues on and on and on and on and on.
So, but then it's interesting. I have to either put it in the grand jury tab or take no contact on my end being.
Well, that's because the charges were filed against you.
But
and I don't know why the officer didn't charge him, and we'll never know the answer to that question. You're never going to get the justice you're looking for. That's just the way the legal system is designed to work. It just doesn't work that way.
Get out of it or you don't.
Right.
And that's it.
And look, I will tell you this, and I don't know what this man or anything else about this looks like or is going on or anything. But I will tell you, I've been doing this for 23 years. I was born and raised in Radcliffe, Kentucky. And I've seen racism up close and personal from me watching it. I've always had the benefit of being a white man that I'm going to get the benefit of the doubt. Mm-hmm. If I call the police and say this person's attacking me or someone said that he's attacking me, the police is going to give me a benefit of the doubt just because my name and my wife and everything else. And I tell people this too, because you got to understand this and know this. And if attorney don't say this to you, then they're not worth a grain of salt, in my opinion. Your 6 jury members are going to be members of this community. There are more than likely going to be just a handful of African Americans in the pool itself. Mm-hmm. I don't think you'll have an African American on your jury. Mm-hmm. You'll have 6 white people judging you. Mm-hmm. Now, a jury during voir dire can ask the questions. Anybody here racist? Ain't nobody gonna raise their hand and say, yes, I am. Okay? There's ways that we can go about it that we ask questions.
Yeah.
For instance, does anybody have a decal on their car?
Mm-hmm.
And they go, well, why did you ask that? Because if you got a Trump 2024 sticker on
Yeah.
your car, I'm not saying you are racist.
Yeah.
But the chances are.
But,
Yeah.
but the chances are, if
You're
not
allowing his
all people that
beliefs.
vote for Trump are racist. But
Yeah.
if you're a racist, you are.
Right.
And so those are the people I start trying to eliminate. If I hear anything like, where do you get your news from? I ask people that.
That's
And if I
funny.
say anything, anybody get their news from CNN, I get some old white codger back there, that's fake news. I don't want you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Isn't that
Back in
interesting
the
on
day,
reasonable doubt though?
it used to be, in some cases I'd ask when it was more